2.5 hours of the committee hearing. You didn't miss anything. Check it out.
I now recognize Ms. Van Dyne from Texas for 5 minutes.
Administrator Guzman, you're painting a picture that small businesses across the country are thriving. But I don't see that being any farther from the truth. Every single small business that I talk to in North Texas is struggling from high inflation and an overburdensome regulatory environment. We legitimately want to know who is talking to the administration, who is the voice of small businesses in the president's ear. Because what I'm seeing, at least in my district, and I'll tell you, we've had a lot of people who've come to this small business hearings and have told us the exact same thing. Their wishes, their concerns, their priorities are not being reflected in this administration's priorities or their agenda. In fact, they're being immediately hurt
to
an SBA loan.
What the IG says is that we've been able to recover $29.5 billion across PP and EIDL in collaboration with
so what are they
well
doing with those
Service.
funds?
The funds either initially went back to the SBA or to the Treasury, but of course all those funds, as the program has been closed for quite some time, have been returned.
So we've got $29 billion that we need to...
No, that actually has already been clawed back, and I know that it has been used and already either redirected to another program or taken back to Treasury. So there's no more funds at the SBA to use.
Okay.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's good to see you today on the Speaknsee Show. Like, subscribe, click that notification button so when I get information out, you get information in. If you haven't been to the show, I want to thank you for watching. I want to ask that you like and subscribe. Welcome to the family of the small businesses which are fighting for your small business EIDL loans, deferments, 10% hardships, and all that fun stuff that the small businesses need. Now, I'm going to go over what I thought we would witness in the SBA committee hearing. Did you see that? As thousands of small business owners watch the committee hearings and millions more will see the highlights, which were actually lowlights of the hearing. What we heard, or actually what we didn't hear, was the silence that spoke louder and more clear than any words ever could have. What did it say besides, "You're screwed, we're screwed"? It said their representatives are clueless, incoherent, uninformed, and unconcerned with real issues the small businesses are facing, and there is no captain steering the ship here. Guys and girls, we all watched in awe of the committee hearing, wondering when they were going to speak to you as a small business owner. And I just want to say we're going to go over that right now. And before we do, can somebody say, hey, we still want our 10K and EIDL forgiveness?
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are once again facing the issues that really matter to small businesses concerning you, EIDL loans, EIDL grants, SBA loans, EIDL, RRF, restaurant revitalization funding, things out there that small businesses are needing through the SBA. And we're still fighting for small business grants for all of you all out there. So we'll keep you posted on what's coming up next on that. After the 22 midterms, though, the Republicans took control of the House. Nydia Velázquez is now the small business minority leader, and Representative Roger Williams is now the chairman of the committee. And once this happened and Republicans took control of the Congress, Americans thought that the new change would bring forth real relief, but it was complete opposite. This committee didn't only go back a few years, but they went all the way back to 1921, over 100 years, Tulsa massacre, literally, really? Watch this.
Let's stay in Michigan, where Mr. Tonadar is standing by. He's got 5 minutes, and he is recognized.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Administrator.
While this gentleman's talking, I want you to pay attention to the lady behind him. I know it's no big deal, but she's in awe. She's like struck, like in shock that the guy's even bringing this up. It made no sense for them to bring it up in this format.
For being here and working with us. The infamous Tulsa Massacre is one of the numerous examples. On the fateful day of May 31, 1921, an angry mob descended upon the once thriving Greenwood district and unleashed a wave of terror on the black community, destroying businesses and assets worth millions of dollars without reparations. I yield back.
Thank you very much. Members, what a great day it's been in small business. I want to thank all the members.
Why go back 100 years to that? Where does that help you? Small Business Concerns of America in this meeting was once again overshadowed by the fraud which took place in the Congress, continues driving the SBA in reverse over 100 years. To paint the picture for you, to make a long story short, how they're managing the SBA, here it is. A small business gets robbed. The manager of the business sends all of its paid employees out to go look for the thieves. In the meantime, the small business is left unattended, being dormant and doing nothing. Years later, the paid employees that the manager sent out are still looking for the robbers, while upper-level management are holding meetings twice a year simply to have records of meetings, minutes, and bylaws for more funding for the business, or in this case, a hearing. It's on record that we did something, send us more money for our non-business. This is how they are running the SBA right now. It makes no sense, no business sense at all. We all know that no one can stay in business like this, so why are they operating like a group of billionaire Ponzi scheme artists that just pulled a dine and dash on American small business owners? This hearing was nothing short of a waste of time, a joke, a useless and boring sideshow. Watching this in live time, I asked the small business owners that were watching, hundreds and thousands, we had thousands of watching by the end of the day. I asked the small business owners in the chat, did any one of these members address any of your concerns? I didn't have one small business owner say, yes, I have one word for this committee: flossy, nihilification, meaning estimate something as worthless. The longer they talked, the angrier I could see small business owners becoming, including myself, when you come to the realization that the ones that are supposed to be looking out for you could care less about your families, your business. It's disheartening, to say the least. And for the icing on the cake, the chairman, Representative Williams, the new head of the committee, just got up and left before it was even over. That's how boring this was. He just got up and left. Watch this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and Administrator. It's great to see you again. Thank you again for visiting my district this past January. We had you in Derry and Manchester. We were at the Palace Theater talking with a number of business owners who, almost to a person, said without the support from SBA, they're not sure they'd be open today. So we're grateful for that commitment and all the work that's gone on. The last few years.
I have
and to put a coffin on that
here on the 8A
send
program.
in the snake oil salesman, circus clown, bad actor in his place to finish the show. Now, chairman isn't there now, but it's Mr. Bean acting like he's on the ride of Disney World. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. Watch this.
Members, what a great day it's been in small business. I want to thank all the members on behalf of Chair Williams for coming prepared. I think we all had a great deal. Everybody here did their homework. I want to thank Ms. Guzman, Administrator. Thank you so much for being here. Over 2 hours, 15 minutes. Members, a reminder, we have 5 days, if there's no objection, 5 legislative days to submit additional materials, written questions to the witnesses through to the chair, which will be forwarded to the witness, and then she'll do her homework and bring it back. So on behalf of Chair Williams, thank you so much. And if there's no other business before us, we stand adjourned.
Buttering up to Miss Guzman seemed to be everyone's MO other than Van Doon, who threw up a couple fastballs. But all in all, child's play games with the trillions spent on all the backs, dirty knuckles, sleepless nights, and blood, sweat, and tears of the lives of the American small business owners. That's what it boils down to. When people get fed a bunch of nonsense regarding trillions of dollars, they don't think about the misuse of funds or frauds. They wonder, what is it you're not telling us? What are you hiding that you just can't say? We don't have any more money in the SBA? We need more than that. Who got rich during this? Why all of a sudden is the chairman of the committee throwing softball questions when just 6 months ago before he was put into authority position, he was outraged by not knowing where the money went? What changed his tune so drastically? What happened to the money? Why did they not hold their actions into account of what they did to small businesses? I mean, it all happened on their watch. But it's your money. And this was their idea. What say you? Look, I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I do question when things are not making sense or 1 + 1 isn't adding up to 2. What say you, American small businesses, if you hire, or in this case, vote in, a new employee and they go rogue on your ideas and visions, that's literally, it's a takeover. a coup d'etat in your life's work. This is your staff. They are not responding to your orders. Do we need the apprentice to come and say, you're fired? Right? The good news is that we have identified the problem. Together, we'll find a solution. We have been issued a challenge here. We accept it. I accept it. You accept it, because we can and we will overcome this together. Look around at all the small businesses in your cities and know there are hundreds of thousands of cities like yours. Then look at the 10 of the people sitting on the committee hearing and know the truth. There's more for us than against us. They don't want this message to get out. They have effectively been holding it at bay. Hats off to them for a good con job well done. But once the dam breaks open on this story, they'll no longer be able to train and tame it. The power is in the consistency of never giving up, standing firm and holding fast to the truth and justice of who we are and what we bring to the tables of our nation. When a government is focused on keeping the people in line, they've become a communist regime. When the people are more focused on keeping them in line, they've become free. Free enterprise isn't some made-up slogan. If it were, then we wouldn't be witnessing millions of people risking their life and limb for the American dream fairy tale. The American dream is alive and kicking. It's why people choose to open business, fulfill their dreams of greater prosperity in the pursuit of happiness. It's hard. Nobody said it was an easy achievement. The truth is, it's blood, sweat, and tears. It's hard work and determination. It's not easy. It's risky. It's falling short. It's going through trials. It's hard knocks. And as William Cooper once said, a life of ease is a difficult pursuit. So if things are difficult, you're probably on the right track. I know we're on the right track. We're going for that EIDL grant, that EIDL loan. We're going to go for it. David didn't go slay Peter the rabbit. He had to defeat the giant Goliath. Moses didn't have to deliver the slaves from a daycare center. He had to free them from a mighty Pharaoh. Jesus didn't have to overcome a common cold. He had to overcome death, hell, and the grave. So what's the common factor in all this stuff? There's nothing that my God can't do through me and through you. Another common denominator in this equation is David, Moses, and Jesus. We're all up to the challenge. They faced it head on with boldness and walked in victory, not defeat. They walked in the solution, not the problem. They walked in faith and not fear. They believed the report of the Lord before they received the reward. They spoke it. They saw it. Sometimes it's not the situation that needs to change, it's us. This all applies to freedom and forgiveness, not only in business matters, but in every circumstance and situation we find ourselves in, whether it be spiritual, mental, physical, or even financial. They're all tied together inside of us. Financial will affect you spiritually, mentally, and physically. Physically will affect you spiritually, mentally, and financially. Mentally will affect you financially, spiritually, and physically. Spiritually will affect you mentally, physically, and financially. You get the picture, so let's walk in victory of freedom, forgiving one another, and calling in the harvest of your seeds. For those who sow in tears will reap in joy. After all, a small business committee hearing, I think I have plenty of tears to shed. I think we all do, and that can come forth now as joy. I'll take it. I mean, not to make light of a dark situation, but look at this nonsense. Did you see it? People are people. Nobody's perfect but God, and I'm not him. His thoughts are greater than our thoughts. His ways are higher than our ways. Thank you, Jesus, for that. We have a lot to learn, and we've just scratched the surface. And I implore us all to contact our reps, ask for EIDL loan forgiveness, and extend our forgiveness as a seed to reap the same harvest. Plant a seed, an apple seed, and you'll get an apple tree. Don't be expecting bananas from that seed. Don't be planting one seed and expecting a different harvest. That's the way it is. We will reap what we sow. What do you want? EIDL loan forgiveness. What do we plant? Forgiveness. So as the weaponry used against this world, right now we're seeing our seeds of fear being scattered. We combat that with seeds of faith, and no weapon formed against us will prosper. Billions and upwards of $1 trillion right now off the subject is being spent in climate change, when the majority of people in this nation are more concerned about financial climate, the weather climate. They're concerned whether or not they will be able to pay this month's rent. Whether or not they'll be able to pay their electric, whether or not their elected officials will stand up and fight for them. What say you? This is your platform. This is your voice right here. This is your future, and it's a good one. It's a good one. I promise you that. And hey, can anybody out there still say we want EIDL forgiveness and our 10K? Love you guys. Stay in faith.
Yeah.